What if I told you that a tax is being levied on you right now? Not the tax on your income or the tax on the things you buy. This is different. It's silent. It's invisible. It doesn't appear on any receipt or pay stub. And yet, year after year, it systematically transfers your wealth away, making you poorer. While making a select few astronomically richer, you feel its effects every time you wince at the grocery bill. Every time you wonder why your paycheck doesn't stretch as far as it used to, even when you get a raise. This isn't bad luck. This isn't just the free market. This is a deliberate, engineered mechanism, the oldest and most brutal trick in the book of financial control. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the invisible tax, inflation. To understand how inflation became a hidden tax, we have to go back to a time when money was real. For centuries, money was tied to something tangible and scarce, gold and silver. A dollar was quite literally a claim check for a specific weight of gold. This was the gold standard. This system had a critical flaw, at least from the perspective of governments and kings. It was a cage. Government could not spend more than it had, plus a little bit of credit. To fund a war or a massive new project, it had to raise taxes or go into debt that it could realistically pay back. The money supply was limited by physics, by how much gold could be dug out of the ground. The cage door was first pried open not by an economist, but by a king. King Henry VIII of England, desperate for funds, began the Great Debasement. He ordered that the precious metal in coins be reduced and replaced with cheaper base metals, like copper. Visual animation showing a gold coin being shaved, then mixed with copper, resulting in more, but less valuable, coins. He was creating more currency units, but each one was worth less. This is the most primitive form of the invisible tax. He was secretly confiscating a portion of everyone's wealth by destroying the value of the money they held. The public still had the same number of coins, but their purchasing power had been stolen. This was the precursor to our modern system. The gold standard limped along for centuries, acting as a brake on this kind of deception. But the brake was about to be cut. The 20th century, with its 2 world wars and massive government expansions, demanded spending on an unimaginable scale. Governments needed a way to break free from the golden cage. The solution was fiat money currency that has value only because the government decrees it does. It's backed by nothing but trust. The pivotal moment came in 1971, President Richard Nixon, facing a run on U.S. gold reserves from foreign governments, made a historic decision. He permanently suspended the convertibility of the US dollar into gold. The anchor was cut. The world's reserve currency was now truly, completely, a fiat currency. This was the moment the invisible tax went from an occasional tool to a permanent feature of the system. Governments and central banks now had the ultimate magic money machine. They could create wealth out of thin air, with no physical constraint. But here's the twist they never tell you. They aren't creating wealth. They are diluting it. Imagine the entire economy as a giant pizza. Pizza represents all the real goods and services available. The cars, the food, the haircuts, the housing. The money supply represents the number of slices you can cut the pizza into. You have one pizza and $100 in circulation. Maybe one slice costs $1. Now, the central bank decides to create another $100 out of thin air through mechanisms like quantitative easing. The crucial part is this. The pizza itself didn't get any bigger. There aren't suddenly more cars or more houses. All that happened is that the number of claims on the pizza, the dollars doubled. So now it takes $2 to buy a slice of the same size that used to cost $1. This is the invisible tax. It's a dilution of your purchasing power. The new money didn't magically create new resources. It just made each unit of currency you hold less valuable. Who gets hurt? You? The person who saves money in a bank account, who lives on a fixed income, who earns a wage that doesn't keep up? You are holding the old, now devalued dollars. Who benefits? The ones who get the new money first. The government, which can spend it before prices rise. The big banks in Wall Street who get to borrow it at near zero rates and invest it in assets like stocks and real estate. By the time the new money trickles down to you in the form of higher prices, the elite have already used it to buy up the real pizza, and you're left paying more for the crumbs. This isn't ancient history. You're living through the greatest application of this invisible tax in human history. Let's look at the data. Since 2020, nearly 80% of all US dollars in existence were printed in the last 4 years. Let that sink in. The monetary base underwent a hyper-expansion. Now, look at the consequences. On the other, a parallel line showing the consumer price index CPI shooting up. We were told this money printing was necessary to save the economy. But what was saved? Stock market hit record highs. Billionaire wealth soared. Real estate prices went parabolic. And what was taxed? Your livelihood, price of food, energy, and housing. The essentials skyrocketed. Your life became more expensive because the value of your currency was deliberately eroded. They call it inflation, framing it as a natural, mysterious economic force, like the weather. This is the greatest propaganda coup of all. It's not a force of nature. It's a policy. It is a tax on your savings and your income. It's transferred directly to the political and financial elite without a single vote in Congress. So, as we piece this story together, here are the 3 undeniable truths you must walk away with. Inflation is not an accident. It is a policy. It is the direct, predictable consequence of expanding the money supply faster than the growth of real goods and services. It is a deliberate act of financial engineering. It is a regressive tax on the poor and middle class. The wealthy own asset stocks, real estate that appreciate with money printing. You rely on cash and wages that depreciate. The system is designed to transfer your wealth upwards. Your safe savings are in a melting ice cube. Money in a savings account earning 1% interest while inflation runs at 5% is not safe. It is guaranteed to lose purchasing power, but the invisible tax is quietly liquidating your financial future. The warning is this: every single fiat currency in history that has gone down this path has eventually collapsed. The Roman denarius, the Weimar papier mark, the Zimbabwean dollar, value didn't gently decline to zero. It fell off a cliff when public confidence finally evaporated. The open-ended question for you is, how long can the largest experiment in fiat currency history continue before it reaches its inevitable breaking point? And what will you be holding when it does? Will you be holding the melting ice cube of cash, or will you have moved into something that can't be printed away?